Jesus Christ. YNW Melly's attorneys, all gloves are off, man. They are rumbling. They are fighting. Right now, I think they're just throwing a whole bunch of Hail Marys. They have filed a couple of different motions, and we've learned that one of the motion was for the case to be dismissed completely. Now we're learning of another motion, and that other motion is to remove Broward County Prosecutor's office from this case. Not just the prosecutor herself, because you know she is a thorn in the side of them, but they want the whole department removed from this case. Check this out. Gazette Extra. Now, after a busy week filled with court filings, YNW Melly's legal team is asking the judge to bar the prosecutor and her colleagues from retrying the double murder case. Not only do they want it thrown out, they also want them barred from even trying to retry it. Check it. One of my subscribers said, yo, they're asking for the case to be dismissed. They're asking for the prosecutors to be taken off the case. They're asking for a whole department to be removed from the case. They're filing motions to have the case barred from ever being retried. They're trying everything but trying to prove that their client is innocent. You know what I mean? Now, they did say that this time around, they're going at it from a different approach. And they did up the ante by hiring one of the sharpest legal minds in the United States of America, who is on this case right now. So he's pulling every stop out the book that there is. And he has beaten multiple murder cases similar to this one, death penalty cases before. I'm not saying that his expertise guarantees that there's going to be a win in the YNW Melly case in YNW Melly's favor, but he definitely is fighting for every penny that he is being paid to represent YNW Melly. The rapper's defense lawyers last Friday urged Broward County Circuit Judge John Murphy to recuse all employees from the state attorney's office for the 17th Judicial Circuit from the retrial. Meaning not one of them would be able to be any part of this case at the retrial. That is if a retrial happens, because they have already filed for the entire case to be thrown out. And the judge has said that he's going to think about it. And guess what? He hasn't replied yet. So he's still thinking about it. Now, I don't see this judge throwing out this case. This was a double homicide that has some very strong, compelling evidence. I think it is worth taking it to court regardless and having everybody bring their best shooters to the range and may the best man win. But justice has to be served, and they can't just walk away from a double murder case with absolutely no justice for the surviving family of the victims. Now, the filing was centered around Miramar Police Detective Mark Moretti, who allegedly was involved in some wrongdoing and supposedly cover up by the state attorney's office. A theory that the defense has incorporated into its strategy. So they're leaning heavy on this whole Mark Moretti must have done something wrong kind of thing, and everybody else kind of like was in cahoots with him, so none of them should be there. In essence, there are too many witnesses from the 17th Judicial Circuit State's Attorney's Office for this State's Attorney's Office to remain as the prosecutors in this case. The filing says there are too many witnesses from the 17th Judicial Circuit State's Attorney's Office for this State's Attorney's Office to remain as the prosecutors in this case. Now, if the judge is to decide that they will go along with this and take them off the case, who then would prosecute this case? I don't know. YNW Melly, as we all know, he is now 24 years old, whose real name is Jamel Demons, and he's accused of gunning down his childhood friend Anthony Williams and Christopher Thomas Jr. in an alleged drive-by after spending the night at a recording studio October 26th of 2018 in Lauderdale, Florida. We're talking about Sack and Juvie, respectively, both aspiring rappers with the YNW Melly Collective, and they are the victims. He is among the first defendants to go to trial after Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed a law to lower the threshold for a death sentence where only 8-4 jury vote is required, where previously you needed a unanimous vote of 12. All jurors had to say yay to get the death penalty or nay to not get it. Now, well, if you had one, so if you had 11 said yes and 1 said no, you wouldn't get it. Before, the law said all 12 had to say yes, then you would get it. Ron DeSantis changed that, and Melly is the first person to go on trial with that. So, say he is found guilty, and then comes the sentencing phase of his trial, and 8 of the jurors of the 12 says yes, he should get the death penalty. He is going to death row, right? With that said, though, so what's happening? So in late August, defense attorney learned that Moretti, the lead detective in this case, they learned that he was under investigation for an incident that was involving some excessive force and use of force against a potential witness. They accused prosecutor Christine Bradley of a Brady violation. I did another video on this, but it's coming around again, so let's go through it again, right? They're accusing prosecutor Christine Bradley of a Brady violation or concealing information that was favorable to their defense for allegedly not telling them the details about an incident that Moretti was involved in. Now, under Florida law, prosecutors are required to disclose any information that may be favorable to the defense. The discovery of Brady violations in some cases have even led to overturn convictions. People who were already found guilty. Later on appeal, they found a Brady violation in the case. Throw the case out. You're free to go. Yes. So it is that serious. I know. There are a lot of people who are saying, man, listen, free YNW Melly. But there are a lot of people now who are saying, man, we need justice for Sack and Juvie, man. And this whole Brady violation thing, I'm telling y'all, it's really, really real. It could make a guilty person walk. It is that serious. This is why the judge did not just say, nope, I don't want to hear it. The judge had to take it into consideration. The judge could not hear that a Brady violation was found and just walk past it. It is so serious. The Brady violation has even led to overturned convictions in other cases. Now, Bradley, in court documents, which is Melly's lawyer, he said that Detective Moretti was taking a statement from Melly's mother, which is Jamie King, in a conference room on the 17th floor of the Broward courthouse. Prosecutor Michael Boutros, King's attorney Robert Tachman, and Broward Sheriff's Office Sergeant Jason Hendricks, they were all present at the time in the room. And at some point, Hendricks stepped out of the room. This is Broward Sheriff Office Sergeant Jason Henry. He steps out of the room. And Moretti, when he stepped out of the room, Moretti executed a search warrant for King's phone, according to Bradley's filings. Now, what happens here is, I think when Moretti executed the search warrant, It is said that he's supposed to have somebody there with him as a witness. That witness should have been Hendricks, Broward Sheriff Office Sergeant Jason Hendricks. But Hendricks had stepped out of the room. That is what they're alleging. So when he steps out of the room, it's breaking protocol because nobody was there who should have been there, right? Right. Now, I don't know if it's true that he stepped out of the room or if they're making this up. I'm guessing that these places might have cameras where they could go back and see the footage of the meeting and see when it was. But I'm telling y'all right now that if this Brady violation actually stands, yo, worst case scenario, because Melly is going to walk. I don't know. I can't see the judge throwing it out completely. Maybe the judge could take away all the prosecutors from it and start all over with a whole new prosecution team. But I've never seen that done before either. That is the reason why his attorneys are moving ahead to not only A, file for the case to be thrown out, dismissed on the grounds of the Brady violations, and then B, file for the prosecutor to be dismissed, and then file for the whole department from which that prosecutor comes from to be dismissed. That way nobody else in that department can prosecute this case. And then they've also filed for the case to be barred from ever being retried. He's smart. These attorneys are on it. Now, at some point, they said that Hendricks stepped out of the room and Moretti executed a search warrant for King's phone. This is according to the filings, right? Shortly after, BSO Deputy Adam Gorell, he arrived at the conference room. Moretti, according to Prosecutor Bortlen, subsequently told Gorell that he should say that he was the one that was present when he executed the search warrant. Damn. See? So the right person who would have been there should have been Jason Hendricks. But what they're saying is that Jason Hendricks wasn't in the room and Moretti executed the search warrant by himself. And then when another person came in the room, he started telling that other person, hey, I need you to say that you were in here with me, right? Moretti later asked Gorell whether he was there when the phone was taken or not. And Gorell said something along the lines of, well, I can be if you need me to be. I can be if you need me to be. That's against protocol. That's not how it's done. You're either there or you're not there. I'm telling y'all, for those of you who are betting or hoping that this goes to justice for Sack and Juvie, this is where you hold your breath for a minute and you keep your fingers crossed. According to a filing by Christopher Killoran, a prosecutor with the Public Corruptions Unit, Moretti told Bradley that the statement he made to Gorell and Gorell's response, those were merely jokes. What's the defense arguing now? Now, while the defense attorneys said that they're still trying to unwind exactly what transpired, they claim that decisions on what to do about the Moretti incident, it reached the highest realms of the state attorney's office. In other words, there was a cahoots and a cover-up going on from the highest levels. This is why they're filing for everybody to be removed from the case, to have nothing to do with the case further, and to be barred from ever trying to retry this case again. Their recent filing also shed some light into their questions of Bortlen, the prosecutor who witnessed the incident. Very shortly after the deposition, Miss Bortlen let her superiors know of Detective Moretti's willingness to fabricate testimony. This is what their filing said. She also informed those superiors that she would never work with Detective Moretti on a case. Wow. The rapper's legal team said that they can plan to call Bortlen to the stand to testify about Moretti's credibility. They may even call Bradley as she had conversations with Moretti about the incident. That, however, would raise issues because Bradley is the one that's leading the prosecution for the case. Nothing could destroy a witness' credibility more than her own office calling another witness to contradict her. Damn. Prosecutors and defense attorneys will discuss the request with Judge Murphy at a hearing that is scheduled for this Friday. Today is Wednesday, the 3rd. Thursday the 4th and Friday the 5th of October 2023, they will be back in court again, and we'll be staying close to this because we want to hear what's going to happen. Yo, listen, if they go to court and the judge gets in there and gives them their way and says, hey, I got to say it, that department, they really messed up this case. And I have no choice. My hands are tied. I saw the Brady violation. And not only that, I also see clearly where things weren't done as the way they were supposed to be done. And it compromised the case. So the state's attorney's office for the 17th Judicial Circuit will be removed from this retrial. This case will be barred from ever being tried again. And the lead prosecutor will also be removed from the case. Wow. If that happens, then of course Melly will be walking free. If it doesn't happen and the judge says, I don't see a reason to throw out, and they've already rebutted everything you said and they brought proof and it's not what it is, let's move forward. Then we know that October 9th, which is only a few days away, they'll start selecting jurors for the new trial, which is the retrial. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me if you understand what was explained just now. I really tried to break it down so everybody understands, because I hate seeing comments where people are lost and they're just winging the comments and they don't really know what's going on, right? Leave a comment in the comment section below. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll stay close to this. So hit that notification bell so you are notified when we update you with what's to come next. I'm out. Peace.